Hey guys, and welcome to a new top 3 list. Today we're gonna be looking at the best junglers for invading. If you disagree with something I said in the video, be sure to write it down in the comments below. Let's start off the list. On my number 4th spot are two champions again, because I would put them in the same spot. Let's start off with Nidalee. She's the sniper of the jungle. If you hit a spear in early game, most of the time you're able to fight the person you hit pretty well. That pretty much describes her whole playstyle. If you hit a spear in team fight, ganking and so on, you're pretty much in a good spot. That's pretty much all you have to know about Nidalee in my opinion. For items, I like to buy echoes with red smite. After that I usually go with Rabadons or Zhonya's, depending on the enemy team. Then you can go Lich Bane, Void Staff and so on. As masteries, I take Thunderlords and Oppressor in the Ferocity tree. Now let's go to the invading. For most of the champions, the beginning will be pretty much the same. You start either at Grump or at the Crooks, depending on where your bot lane is. You could also start at the buff, but I don't tend to do that with most of them. You should ask your bot lane nicely if you could get a smiteless leash. If not, you will probably not get the buff when invading, if you have to smite it. From there, it depends if you are red side or blue side. Let's start with red side. You start by skilling your W and running into your jungle and placing your trap where Grump will spawn. After that, you wait until like 120, then you jump over the dragon pit and ward the red bush, so you have the vision over it. You don't need to do this step if it's too risky, but it's pretty damn useful. After killing Grump, you jump over the dragon pit, and after that you just have to land a spear on him and jump after him with your W in cougar form. You need to get used to the spears. After some time it'll be easier to hit enemies, then you kinda get a feel on how the spear is flying. On the blue side, you just do your crux and walk over to his buff. My third pick is gonna be Lee Sin. He also is very skill shot reliant and an early game monster with all his utility. His ganks are nice when you hit your Q, but you can also just walk over to the enemy, or ward hop of course, and eat them or kick them towards your tower. For a build on Lee, I take the Tracker's Knife with Warrior for ward hopping. After that I used to go Hydra, but I normally start with Humus or Black Cleaver. After that I go tanky like Deadmans, Randuins and so on. Masteries, I pick Thunderlords, again of course, and Oppressor in the Ferocity tree. As for invading, you will start Grump or Crooks again and walk over to the enemy jungler and just try to Q them. In my experience, whenever I hit that Q, the kill was pretty much secured. You could also walk behind his buff and Q to the buff, but then you don't have your Q anymore, so I would not recommend doing that. Let's go over to the second pick, Eve. Eve is a pretty obvious pick because her passive makes her invisible, which is quite useful when you're trying to do something sneaky like invading. Her ganks can be amazing and she can just ignore wards. Nothing really more to say about her when ganking, just mash all buttons and you should be good. For items, I get Runic Echoes, Liantries, Wileys, and after that something like Lich Bane or Rabadons. As for all of these on the list, I take Thunderlords, but on Eve I get Bounty Hunter in the Ferocity tree. The invading with Eve is the same as with the others, but just a lot easier. After getting Grumps or Crooks, you walk over to the jungler and look how far he is with the buff, and maybe just wait a while so he's lower and then you start button mashing again. If you have watched my channel for a while now, you knew this one would be coming. On my number 1 spot is my love, my main, Shaco. I've made a whole video about him explaining some different things on him. It's a little bit outdated because I do some things different now, but most stayed the same, so I'm gonna link it here. So Shaco's early ganks are incredibly amazing. A normal gang should be queuing over the wall onto the lane, placing a box behind the enemy, critting them from behind and just following them around. As for invading, Shaco doesn't need any help from bot lane. You just start stacking your boxes on red buff, blue buff at 40 seconds. After that you kill it without using smite. Then you could jump over the Drake and walk over to the jungler, or just walk around the pit and queue over the wall. The buff is behind. That's what I tend to do, but you should try it yourself. Then you just put down your box again, ignite him, take his buff and ruin his life. You can go a variety of builds on Shaco. I've already done that in my Shaco video, but I'm still gonna tell you some. I normally get Statics or Hydra first. I'm not quite sure what is better at the moment, but both of them work pretty well. Then I get Starrick's Gauge or Deadman's Plate, or maybe more multi-toast and also Warrior in between. You can just squeeze it in there when you feel like. I've also linked a lot of other options every time, so shouldn't be that hard to see. and also you can look up the video. For masteries, again, just Thunderlords and Bounty Hunter in the Ferocity 4 because of his E and his W. Overall, I think the most important thing when you're invading is that you need to be able to adapt to every situation or any change that happened. For example, the jungler started blue instead of Grump, so now he's by the wolves, and so on. So this was my top 3 invader junglers. If you disagree with something I said or want to correct something, just tell me. I know the overall commentary and list are still not the best, but I will keep trying to get better, so write me comments to help me improve my channel. I'll be happy for any suggestions or ideas too. I hope you're having an amazing day, try out Shaco, and goodbye.